All right, hello everybody. This is Rhett Oldham. I'm with St. Genevieve School District in St. Genevieve, Missouri in the United States. And welcome to EdCamp Global. I'm really excited to do this. In fact, my kids actually did a presentation this morning. And boy, they were just fantastic. I can't even tell you how proud I am of them, how they talked about their global collaborations and how they've learned about people from around the world, and they've learned from each other. What we're going to accomplish today, let me back up here. If you want to know how kids are going to respond to this, please go to the EdCamp Global, my first one. I think I've sent that out to a lot of people, the YouTube link. If not, just shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to send you out that YouTube link so you can check out what the kids think about the global collaborations. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to you guys about how to set up the global collaborations, where to find potential partners, and different ideas that I've came up with and I've learned from other people. One of the things that I do want to tell you is that I cannot stress enough how fun it is to talk to educators around the world. I feel like that I'm kind of a creative guy, I guess, in some respects, but when I start talking to other people, it is amazing to me how creative and intuitive and interesting all these great educators are. And so when we go through this process today, think about how you could apply this to your own class and how you would like to use this with your students, and we'll go from there. I am going to share the different things on my screen here. We'll do that, and so and I'll kind of go back and forth. Like right now, you're looking at my screen, and then I'll come back over here and do all that good stuff. All right. So anyway, so I'm working on that right now. So okay. So here we go. All right. So first things first. Go to internal display. Wonderful. Okay. All right. Awesome. So here we go here. So let's go ahead and take a look at at what I'm going to be presenting today. I'm going to be using this presentation tool, and this is a haiku deck of no one is, if you haven't seen this before, I really like them. My kids use them a lot. It's a PowerPoint-like presentation, but it's very, very clean. And what I really like when I use this as a presentation tool is every slide has a picture, and there's no more than 15 words. So, and that's the rule that I have in my class. Any presentation, 15 words or less, it has to have a picture. So let's talk about taking the Skype to the next level. I really enjoy the mystery Skypes. I like them a lot. They're fun. But when you're doing global collaborations, you really want to talk to kids about interacting and connecting with people all around the world. And to do that, I basically have 4 or 5 different parts that goes into this collaboration project. The first is when I talk to you about Padlets. Padlet is really how you're going to interact with your kids. This gets your kids acclimated to talking with kids from a different country. The Padlet acclimates them to understand that there is somebody on the other end, and it becomes very exciting for them in that regard. Let's go ahead and take a look here and how about how that looks. Yes, it is. Andy just asked me if it's going on, and so I hope I'm going live here. All right. So I thought I was. Let's look. Oops. All right. All right. Yeah. Good. Okay. Cool. I thought I was going live. I just wasn't for sure, and so when I saw Andy, if Andy's in the room or not. So anyway, so that's awesome. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate you stopping by. Andy and I are actually going to do global collaborations in with his class in England, and I'm pretty stoked about that. So okay, let's go ahead and move on here. So anyway, I was talking to you guys about the Padlet. So let's go ahead and look at some Padlets together here. So this is the one that I just finished with Martin in Sweden. This is a Padlet that Martin created. And if you look here, you're going to see that his kids posted different questions and comments and pictures of themselves. If you look at my kids and what we what we presented was this right here. So this is from the Vikings here, all right? And so my kids posted different pictures and things of that nature, all right, on the Padlet as well, all right? So it's pretty cool. And so this is how they're introduced to one another, all right, with the Padlet. And I'll talk more about the Padlet as we go on, all right? So, but anyway, so I put the Padlets out there just to let you know that's the first thing you're going to do when you start. And then from that point, you are then going to start your global collaborations. And how do you find those people? Let's take a look. One of the big things that I do is I use Google Communities a lot. Those Google Communities really connect you with people. By enrolling in a Google Community, you can then get email updates. People will talk to you, send out a post like, hey, I'm looking for a class in Israel. I'm looking for a class in Sweden. I'm looking for a class that is a French immersion class, something along those lines. So the Google partnership is a really, really great way to find people. And I'm going to list a couple of places that I get emails from on a regular update. These Google Communities. Learn Around the World. That's where I met my friend Anna from Greece. And that was my first global collaboration. That was a blast. I tell you what, we had so much fun with that one. But it's called Learn Around the World. And you can actually go in there, and there's actually, you go to a map, and you'll see people all over the place that have plotted points on the map, and then you can connect with those people and send out an email or send out a text or whatever the case may be. Another one's called mystery location calls. If you guys haven't done a mystery location call, like a mystery Skype on Google Hangouts, I do those with my class, both with my American history class and my world history class. Those are a lot of fun. If you remember those days back where where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, or where's Waldo, or something like that, it's kind of that same thing. It's a 20 questions kind of thing to find out where people are. And so the mystery location calls are a blast. Sometimes I'll actually start my global collaboration calls with a mystery location call. In fact, that's what Martin in Sweden and I did, and we felt like that worked really well. It's a great way to introduce your kids to the location as well. Google Hangouts in Education is another place where people will post and they'll ask for different global collaboration partners throughout the world. Bringing the World in the Classroom is also another great site where I get potential partners for global collaboration. And I'm going to stop right here, and I want to bring something up to all of you guys so you understand kind of where this whole process comes into play. All right. So one of the things that one of the reasons why I did this global collaboration stuff is, as you're going through the world history units, I decided to try to make Greece come alive for my kids, try to get Italy come alive in the age of Rome. So I wanted to find kids from that country and teachers from that country where we could do exchanges with, and we could actually ask them history questions. What I found is that students overseas are wanting to practice English. That is their #1 objective. That's what they're trying to do. And so really, to asking them questions about history, why they can answer those questions, it became a little bit cumbersome. So I thought maybe they would ask us American history questions. And while that exchange does take place, it's not the primary reason why you're doing this. It is truly a cultural exchange. For instance, I found out that my friend Christiane in Italy, those kids go to school 6 days a week, and they get off at 1:30 each day. And so, but they have to go to school half a day on Saturdays. We find out that, we have snow days here in St. Genevieve. In fact, we had 3 last week. When we asked the kids in Sweden about snow days, they laughed. They're like, yeah, we have them, but you got to have like 2 feet of snow, and then you may only get a day or 2 off. Kids then start finding that the kids overseas are doing different things, and the culture is different. For instance, our kids are used to school lunches. Kids over there are not used to school lunches. They don't have school lunches. They bring their own lunches. We have 5 minutes between classes. Schools overseas sometimes will have an hour between classes. And so it's very, very different. and it definitely lets your kids know that there's different ways to do things, and one way or the other isn't better, it's just different. And so I really think that's neat. So so I wanted to kind of throw that at you and let you know that that's why I do that. All right, let's move on here. So bringing classes into the classroom, or bringing the world into the classroom, and that is really, really fun. A global global perspective. That is another Google community that you can enroll in. By the way, all you got to do is have a Gmail account. You can when you enroll in Google Communities or Google Plus, it's very similar to like a Facebook global collaboration or Facebook communities and stuff. So, and it works pretty much the same way. Learn Around the World. That is another teacher community where you can find different partners to hook up with and partner up with. And so I want to share that with you as well. Finally, Mystery Hangout. The Mystery Hangout locations. A lot of times somebody just wants to do a one and done thing, and that's all right. And so so you can find those. But many times I find out, especially with schools overseas, the Mystery Hangout thing becomes more of a global collaboration call. World of Educators, they want to collaborate. Here's what I'm finding, and this isn't like rocket science or something that just blows off the page. Educators love to talk to other educators, and so when I'm talking to teachers in Greece and in Italy and in Sweden and in Mexico and in Spain, they're asking me questions. They're asking me questions about Common Core. They want to know how my administration is. They want to know how my students are. Are they easy to teach? Are they hard to teach? What works? What doesn't? I was talking to Martin recently in Sweden. They just converted to Chromebooks, and so we were talking back and forth on a Google Hangout about what applications that their kids are using and what my kids are using, and it just became a teacher in service, and so that's really fun. It's fun for education geeks like me who just like to talk about teaching. I just found this site, and I'm going to share this with you. This is called Epals. And so sometimes, like you say, boy, I really don't want to do this global collaboration call kind of things. So if you go to Epals, and by the way, you can tell I'm in school because my teachers or my administrators talking over the intercom. But if you go to Epals and you sign in, you go right here and you can actually find different places around the world to collaborate with. And on this page, it's easy to set the account up. And I've actually found a really good contact from Russia and India and Germany. And so you just kind of scroll down here and find somebody you want to connect with. You shoot an email off to them, and then you set up your global collaboration. Here's Nancy in Thessalonica. I'll have to ask her if she knows Anna, because that's where my teacher is from, Thessalonica. But you can see here they're all over the world. And this is a real easy site to use, but it's called Epals. And I just found this out just a couple weeks ago, so I wanted to add that to the presentation. All right, so Epals is one. Another, this is called VIF Learn. And I just found this one out, and I'm going to my Google Classroom page here. And this is a kind of a competition, and check it out. What you do is your kids, and my kids are starting to do this on Instagram and Snapchat, where you'll take a picture of you collaborating with another place, a school around the world, and then you put your picture and then a caption on this VIF partnership website, and then they judge winners every month. I haven't done it yet, but I think it looks really, really fun. They give you a rubric, and I'm popping that up for you right now. You can see that. Picture, captions, local and cultural themes. That's it. And so my kids are going to start doing that next month. And so I think that looks really, really fun. It looks like just a neat activity for your kids to do. I think they'll like that. And so anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys as well. All right. So we talked about Epals. We talked about VIF Learning. And this is another one called Know My World. And I'm going to go to knowmyworld.org, and I signed up for this, and they had like a contest, and it's called the Every World Initiative, and I was selected as one of the scholarship winners. And so I'm going to be partnered up with a school in Turkey, and then my kids are going to be doing a lot with this Know My World initiative. And so that was kind of a neat thing. And this is their mission statement, their team, their contact stuff. You know, you can go through their website and see what they do. But I've had a couple conversations with people at Know My World, and they're also with the Global Exchange Conference. And as you can see, they do a lot of stuff. It's really, really a neat site, and I would suggest you guys check that out. Very cool. Let's move on. Worldviews. This is a brand new thing too. My kids are doing this. In fact, we just actually did this today in class. Worldviews is a thing where you go on to this site. When you log in and you'll create a class, and the class will have a class code. If you notice, I got my class code right here for my kids, and then they get the class code, and then they look through here, and then you scroll all over, and there's questions that are being asked. What is your favorite? Who's your favorite basketball player? What's your favorite song by Taylor Swift? You know, there wasn't a none button there, so but you know, I would have chosen that one. What is your favorite? Who's your favorite soccer player? Marine life, and a lot of them in Canada to start with. But look, I'm going to start moving here, and look here. Now I'm in England, and then we're back in the U.S. And they're all over the world, and they're just questions that your kids pose. They're usually multiple choice responses for your kids. See, there they are, and then the kids will choose the answers, and then and then you can post questions as a teacher. Your kids cannot post on Worldview, only you, and so but it's still kind of fun because what I plan on doing next week is asking my kids, okay, what question do you want to post on there, and then we'll check and see, you know, how people respond and stuff. I just think it's another way to connect with the world. All right, virtual postcard project. I just found this one too, and so let me see if I can find this on my Padlet real quick. Here it is, right here. Awesome. And there's a bunch of teachers on here, and I just kind of happened on this. I forget even where I found it. But if you look, there are people all over the place, from a high school Spanish teacher looking for Spanish-speaking students. I teach English at a French school in Colombia. So if you look, and then there's my kids over here. All right. In fact, this is a picture of our very first global collaboration when when my kids came in on the Breakfast Club, and we talked to our class in Greece. So you can look this up. This is called the Virtual Postcard Project, and they just post things, and once again, you'll see that this is a Padlet. So that's another cool tool that I think you guys could use, that I've just posted stuff on there. All right, the Global Education Conference. If you go on here to this Global Education Conference, I presented there in November, I think. And if you go there, let me see if I can get there. All the conferences were listed, all right. And for some reason, my computer's acting silly here, due to the formatting. But what's really cool about this is you can go in here and on this Global Education Conference Network, and you can find all the conferences that went on during that time. What I did, since I presented and I listened to a couple just briefly, I went back over the Christmas break and listened to them. I found out about 3 or 4 ideas that I've already shared with you that I found on that Global Education Conference. That was really a neat thing. There was people all over the world presenting. When I presented on this topic right here, I had teachers in 12 different countries in my room, and then we were collaborating together. That was really, really fun. All right, social media. So let's talk about this for a second. All right, let me get back over here. Cool. All right, and let's see here. Uh-oh. Cool. I am making sure. Uh-oh. Move here. Okay. I thought I was going here. I'm afraid. Let's see. I'm trying to get in the video call here. All right, I've read. All right, cool. Sorry, guys. Looks like you guys are still here. Awesome. Had some technical difficulties here. All right. When I started this project, and we started getting on the Padlets, and we were going back and forth. Anna's kids in Greece, they threw out their Instagram and Snapchat accounts, and boy, that really made me nervous. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do this because I don't have control over it. As you guys are teachers, you know that you have to control. You want to control everything, and that's just how we are as teachers and as educators. And so anyway, when I saw that, I was like, uh-oh, makes me nervous. But the kids said, hey, we'd really like to do that. So we talked about global citizenship, and we talked about, hey man, this is how you're supposed to act on social media, and this is the things you should watch out for on social media. And so when you start talking about digital citizenship and what to look for, what not to look for, and what to do and what not to do, that really drives home that digital citizenship stuff. This has really been a linchpin for what my kids do. They love to get on Snapchat and Instagram and talk to kids around the world about outside of school. So they talk about what they do in their free time, what they might talk about a teacher, they might talk about classes, they may talk about a lot of things. The point being is that kids then get to interact with other kids without adult supervision. You can't trust kids, you can't make them trustworthy until you show them that you have trust in them. Now, I know that's hard, and I know in this litigious age that we're really nervous about that, and we don't want to get in trouble and that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is that I trust my kids, and I'm going to keep trusting them until they won't let me trust them anymore. And it has allowed them to have personal connections and create friends with kids all over the world. It is really cool when your kid comes in first thing in the morning and says, hey, I got 7 new Greek friends, I got 7 new Italian friends, I got 8 new Mexican friends. And it's really cool when it's overseas because they get those friends while they're sleeping at night because of the 7 to 9 hour time difference between those people. And so that's really, really fun. And so then that really drives home the message. And so I think that's just one of my favorite parts. All right, let's go back to the screen. And so that's social media. Instagram and Snapchat is pretty much what they use. I got a couple guys in here. Hey, do you guys use Facebook or Twitter that much?
I use Facebook.
You use Facebook some? Okay. All right. And so I know that some of you guys ever did that with the global collaborations with on Facebook? Did you ever do with any of the kids overseas? Mm-hmm. All right. So cool. All right. So really, the Snapchat and Instagram, I say that Facebook is for their parents, and Instagram and Snapchat is for them, and that's kind of what I think. All right. And so while Facebook, I'd like to be able to monitor that because I'm on there, and I have a Snapchat and Twitter account and Instagram account too, but I don't want to know what my kids are doing on Snapchat or Instagram or anything like that. If you do, there's a real cool website you can download called SnapHack, and you can actually pull up every kid's Snapchat that they've ever done. All right, and it's called SnapHack. So if you want to find out what your kids are doing, you can go and check it out. And so that's kind of interesting. So, all right, my kids use this thing called Screencastify. And so let's check this out together. Now, Screencastify is something that my kids do, all right, and what you do is it is a add-on to Google Classroom, or I'm sorry, to Chromebooks. And it's going to record their screen. And so my kids get on here, and I love this, and we kind of did it just for fun on the Padlets. And let me show you what me and Martin just recently did on a Padlet here. All right. So what I'll give them a topic, and then I'll have them post a video question on the Padlet about something here. All right. So let's go down here and let's find somebody. Let's see here. Okay. So here's one of my students here. And so you click on it, it pops up, there she is, and let's see what her question is. All right, so, and then it just plays, and I couldn't hear that one. So let me try one more. All right, let's look at Katie here. Nope, we'll try one more. I know, I'm working on it. All right, here we go.
How many inches of snow did you guys get?
Okay, it just recently snowed at our school. So Megan asked the question, how many inches of snow do you guys get? Well, the Swedes came back and said, you know, it's not inches, you know, it's centimeters or meters, but it's a lot either way you look at it. So the kids just ask a short question, that's all they do. And so the cool thing is then, for your non-English speakers, they can hear kids speaking in a native tongue, and they can play it over and over again, and then they can figure out, you know, how English is spoken and that kind of stuff. Here's one more.
What is y'all's favorite sport?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Okay, what is your favorite sport? Okay, and so anyway, those are the questions that you ask. It's, you know, it's not rocket science or anything like that, but it's just a fun way to collaborate together. By the way, one thing on the Padlets, we'll use an application called Webcam Toy, and so if you notice, some of the pictures are kind of different looking. Like here's infrared right here. All right, and that's really fun too. The kids really get into that. All right, and so you'll see that stuff too. All right, so Screencastify. All right, now I just mentioned the Breakfast Club, and we actually just had this morning. I think I only got one more slide, which is about my website. So let's pull up my website and let me show you what the Breakfast Club is all about. If you guys want to see, you know, what I'm doing here and all that kind of good stuff, you can go to sghistoryteach.weebly.com. That's my website, and you can see all the cool things that's going on here. But let's go to World History, and this is about the Breakfast Club. We kind of came up with this because kids, because of the time difference. And so I was talking to my friend Anna, and I don't know if I'm looking for our Greek one. Here it is. Awesome. So they were 8 hours ahead of us. And so I told my kids, listen, if you want to actually talk to these people, then let's go ahead and let's come in before school, and we'll meet, and then they'll stay a little bit after school, and then we'll go ahead and have a Google Hangout call. We had 38 kids show up for that call. And, you know, I bought donuts, and they come in, and we ask questions, and the kids from Greece ask questions with us. And this one wasn't very good because if you notice, all the kids were all right around the computer. So when we went to Italy, and I talked to Christiana, I said, man, we got to change that. That wasn't any good. And actually, Anna and I talked about this afterwards. So we started bringing up kids, and you can see the pictures here. They come up in groups of 4, and they sit down, and there's questions already prepared. And so we'll ask a question, they'll respond, they'll ask a question, we'll respond, and we'll go back and forth, and we'll do that. And so it works really well. And if, let's say you have, you know, 20 kids, you may have 5 rounds, and that goes back and forth until they're done. When we did Italy, we did breakfast pizza, and we had 29 students show up for that. Now in Mexico, because we were in the same time frame, or time zone, that worked out really, really cool. And so we just did it all day long. And I'll tell you what, Perla and Maruka, they were fantastic partners. Their kids were really, really well organized. We had a lot of fun in that global collaboration. We were studying Incans and Mayans and Aztecs on that one, studying Rome, of course, for Rome, and then studying Greece when we did and Athens and Sparta for that one. I haven't put up the Sweden call because it was today, and so I haven't done that. But we did do this. This is pretty cool. I did a Viking virtual field trip with the Viking Museum in Oslo, and I recorded that, so you can actually kind of look at that right there. And those were my kids actually doing a live field trip from Oslo, Norway, and we were looking at ships from the 9th century. And man, that was really, really fun. And so, but that's called the Breakfast Club. So they all come in before school for the Breakfast Club, and then we just get together, and it's whoever can show up. And so we'll have anywhere between I don't know, like today was a little bit less. I'd say we ended up with probably 20 to 30 kids that showed up this morning. But we do that too, and that's just all part of the process. The bottom line with this is that I want my kids to get a sense of what's going on around the world. I want my kids to understand, what's happening, what we see, what they're seeing, what they're looking at, all those things like that. Okay, and so I want them to understand that at the end of the day, people are just people. Kids are just kids, and that I don't care if you're in Europe or the U.S. That's just what we do, and it has been a really, really fun experience. It's a great experience for me. I've met. You kind of become friends with people, which is cool. On a Saturday morning, I was talking to Elizabeth in France. I talked to Andy about English Premier League soccer because I'm a fan of that, and we're going to be talking later on. I talked to David in Spain and talked about doing some collaborations with him, and that's been really, really fun. I just recently talked to 2 classes in Russia and about how we could collaborate, and I'm working on a class in Germany. So, but by doing that, you find out about their kids and their family. I'm going to Scotland this summer, and Anna's son is a student in Glasgow. So you find those things out about people, and so your educators kind of become your friends. So that's really what we do. It takes a little bit of front-loading legwork, but in the end, I will tell you this, it has truly been the neatest thing I've ever done in education. My kids play games a lot. My kids do fun stuff. In fact, if you look at my website, I just put up our Socratics seminar stuff that we did today, that we did yesterday. I'm sorry. That was really, really fun. We do a lot of technology stuff. I really enjoy that. That's a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, it's about developing person-to-person relationships. It's about teaching kids that the world is truly small and that global collaborations are going to happen in the workforce when they leave school. And then my mother told me this a long time ago when she would have birthday parties and things like that, and I started getting older, and I'm like, Mom, why are you doing these things? And why are you taking all these pictures? And she says, you're creating memories. Well, ask my kids 20 years from now what they remember about 8th grade social studies, and they will tell you that I talked to a kid in Sweden. I talked to a kid in France. I talked to a kid in Italy. I actually Snapchatted at 1 o'clock in the morning with kids getting ready to go to school in Spain. That is powerful stuff. So I know this is supposed to be an hour. I'm not going to go that long. Feel free to email me at roldham@sgdragons.org. I'm always happy to hear from you. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll send you copies of the haiku deck. I'll send you any of the information that I just shared with you. If you want to ever do a global collaboration or even just a mystery Skype, obviously shoot me an email on that, and I would love to do that. My kids are in my American history class in 7th grade. They are actually going to be doing a mystery Skype with a class tomorrow. We're actually taking a virtual field trip to a cotton gin in Arkansas. So those things just really bring stuff in your classroom and bring it alive. Once again, thank you so much for taking your time to come in and listen. Check out all the other cool things going on in EdCamp Global 16 this year, and you guys have a great school year.